Alright, here for our first match with Quintorius Combo. This is a turn 5 on the draw with no interaction, just not quite good enough. I'm all to 6, we'll try this one. Putting back Pathway, I guess. Obviously looking to find an actual Quintorious. So up against either Phoenix or Creativity. Not sure which chip. Okay, so main phasing this, so it looks like we're up against Phoenix. Hooked on Phoenix. Put a treasure cruise in their hand, sure. Continue to play the Facade for now. This is going to be a turn 4 Trumpeting Carnosaur. And my lovely upstairs neighbor is being a bit vindictive because of a broom smack heard around the world, apparently. So. Alright, Jig's going to kind of be up on what we're on now. Opponent's going to continue to hold up mana. They could have Picklock Prankster here. I can't auto pass because they might try to Brazen Borrower this in anticipation that we just auto pass, but they most likely have Picklock Prankster here. Or sorry, Free the Fae as it may be. So I haven't seen too many versions with Magma Opus lately and Torrential Gearhulk. This is kind of running back our variant that we were running a couple months ago, or a couple weeks ago, whatever it's been. I forget how long it's been since we've actually posted the League. So Galvanic Iteration into Treasure Cruise, I presume. So the opponent will be up to 11 cards here. So the most they can play is like land cantrip. And there's no single spell that they can hold up that would blow up Trumpeting Carnosaur and clones, but they could potentially, Spell Pierce us into oblivion here. So, which does look like the card they're intending on holding up. Lightning Axe just ain't gonna cut it. So, presume they're going to pitch a Phoenix or two at least. It was one of the worst possible draws in our deck, but now if they have Spell Pierce, we're just going to get got. There's nothing we can do. Okay. Copy. And that opponent's just dead on turn 4 here. So probably want Cavern's a consideration. Sunfall's a consideration. Thought Distortion's a consideration. Dermoka's a consideration. So there's a lot of things we could bring in, but as far as cards we'd actually want to cut, the only 6 we can realistically cut are these 6. The problem with Bedeck Bedazzle in particular is it only kills Ledger Shredder if you catch it the exact turn it comes down, if they don't connive that turn. So it's really kind of middling in its effect. So I think I'm going to kind of go with these 6 for now, question mark. Could bring in Buzz Crusher, doesn't make any sense. Thought Distortion's okay against them. It gets rid of like most of the stuff in their hands, so we'll try it like this. Could potentially bring in Sunfall. The problem with Sunfall specifically is that you can cascade into it with Trumpeting Carnosaur. I mean, this hand has the payoffs. The problem is it doesn't have the mana or any type of acceleration. And we only have 1 way to scry. Looking at the list, is this the list with only 8? Yeah, this list only has 8 pieces. No, we have the 10 pieces of acceleration, so I guess we'll risk it. Phoenix isn't particularly a fast deck. I mean, it can have insanely fast draws with, you know, whether it be, yeah, sure, we'll keep that. Like, it can have insanely fast draws with, like, turn 2 Ledger Shredder, turn 3, you know, do some stuff, turn 4 being, like, a key turn with, like, getting 2 Phoenixes down and kind of bashing in that regards. And it looks like they're going to have the Shredder. So, obviously this isn't great having to shock this in. But at least if they give us a window, you know, we can slam this, but I have a feeling they're just going to kind of hold up interaction, especially if they're not trying to... Oh, they just have a second Ledger Shredder. So these are the kind of starts that are problematic. Let's go ahead and take the opportunity to kill one of these Ledger Shredders. Nice one, dear. Getting Treasure Cruise back, I'd presume, here. I am shocked that they're tapping out here. This is just basically asking to die. I think it'd be much better to bring in, or to treasure cruise and try to hit between your connive and such. I would have tried to hit a spell pierce or something. And with this being a basically no free spells format, there's literally nothing we have to fear stopping us now. Alright, nice to get the quick win. Alright. Number 2. So it's a bit risky from a mana standpoint, but everything else is fine, so we'll try it. Like, we have early interaction, we have the acceleration, and then just get turn 1 to rest. Cool. Goodbye, Quintorious, I would presume. Guess you could technically go after Magnum Opus. Surveil that in the graveyard, surveil that to the top of the library. Presume, here comes Shucky ducky, quack quack. Okay, we'll pass. Presume there goes Torrential Gearhulk. Let's let this hit come. It's possible they only have 2 lands. I mean, nope, of course they have another one. This for 3. Like a clever impersonator. It doesn't come in as a copy of whatever. So. Okay, so they are the Vein Ripper variant. So we need to top deck 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more Quintoriuses or Discovery Dispersal into Quintorious. Pretty sure we're just dead here, but we'll do what we can. So tap this down. Don't know how we're surviving this one, but we will do what we can. Damage to that. 2 and 2. Tap that down. Tap that down. So I'm going to be dead to Xaxes, unfortunately. Pitch a vampire to kill us. Okay, we definitely want the Sunfalls. Virtues of Persistence, maybe. The full Discovery Dispersal. So I'd like to play first. Try this hand. I feel like since we're going to get Thoughtseize and the rest into the ground, we may as well just keep a hand with generically powerful spells rather than trying to mulligan to the combo. So, turn 1 Thoughtseize. Yep. I guess there goes Sunfall. Turn. Sure. Keeping this triumph for cycling purposes. Okay. Sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure. Mm-hmm. Mm. Two, three, four, five. Six. The problem is here, I could play Trumpeting Carnosaur, but then we get nothing off of it because of Damping Sphere. So. Uh-huh. Alright. And like I said, we could shock this and cast this, but this Damping Sphere just keeps us from doing anything, so. Alright, match 3. This hand just comes down to raw mana. We only have 2 mana. We have Spark Double in our hand, which is already a mulligan. Despite having all the payoffs, this is just a... this hand is likewise a mulligan because of the 1 land. This hand's about as good as we're going to get. Put back Trumpeting Carnosaur and Discovery Dispersal, I guess. Just kind of hope and pray here. Alright, so mono green. Possibly mono green. I'm undetermined exactly what we're up against. Could be Gruul as well. Mono green confirmed. I'm guessing we'll Full Haven here. Yep. Okay. Turn 3, 5 mana possible. I'm guessing they're going to have Kiora here into... Old Growth Trail. Yep. Draw a card. So as much as I want to discard this here, I think it's just too dangerous currently. Problem is, if we get a land blown up here, we're in some trouble. But our opponent can go absolutely batshit here, and I don't think it's going to matter. Because so far we've kind of presented ourselves as possibly a Grixis control deck. But the reason I didn't flip the Magma Opus last turn is if our opponent has Titan Industry, we don't want the treasure token blown up, and then our chances to do anything are kind of null and void almost. So. Sure. Okay. GG. Okay, Spark Double means we easily have the game. And once again, kind of has to wait till we do the full combo because, well, could easily have a couple clone effects in our hand, which reduces our ability to win the game, so. Okay. Release to the winds. Deals our opponent 6 total. And good game. Alright, now taking a look at Green's recent finishes. Now, down the deck has significantly dropped off, so I really haven't been paying a ton of attention to its newer builds with the landline stuff. Close ramp. Too late out of the guild pact. Make root elemental, pick your poison, stone brain, hornet queen, titan of industry. So, card we're most concerned about is ETB those. Do we risk the Elishnorns? I feel like Elishnorn's too slow. In this particular matchup. 2 Sunfalls. I feel like it might be the 2 Sunfalls out and bring in the 2 Virtues and 2 Sunfalls. Or 4 into those, to those. Dromoka just doesn't do enough. Thought Distortions, whatever. Elishnorns, whatever. Kringo's Buzz Crusher, yes, it can blow up Nykthos, but that's, you know. Revenge of the Bell. Gong! I think this hand's borderline close. I think we can honestly do better, but we already have 3 mana here, plus the Magnum Opus. If we drew a second one, we could Carnosaur on 4 and potentially win, but we could also be dead by then. So I think we're gonna have to try to mull into a slightly better hand. This hand is a little bit better. Put back the Spark Double. Interesting package they've got there. Definitely need the mana. Oh, so they're more all in on the devotion plan. I say we would have loved to have drawn a Bedeck Bedazzle or Virtue here, but just to slow them down. But we already knew what we were topping because we topped the land, which is fine. I mean, we need to hit our land drops to have a prayer here, so. particularly worried about the beatdown plan here. I know last game I played around Titan of Industry by doing this at the last possible turn, but with the potential of needing to use Trumpeting Carnosaur to slow them down, which actually I maybe should have just main phased anyway, but especially with the Nykthos coming out. I think if they go to untap here, I am going to go ahead and make a move. Just to slow them down on mana. Yeah, I honestly thought they were going to go get a Nykthos and start going crazy at instant speed, but interesting take. Wish kind of fulfills the same role as something like Granted, so does give them some avenue of sideboard cards. But fortunately for our opponent, this game is just over. So and the opponent agrees. Alright, taking a look at match number 4. We'll keep this hand even though we have a Spark Double in hand. Still, most games will be a deterministic kill, although kind of hard to see what we're playing against first. Could very well be up against... Okay, looks like we're up against Phoenix again. Hooked on Phoenix. Yep. Mm-hmm. Hate to give information away here, but I do think see if they pitch. Yep, they pitch a Burb, so. That, however, is a problem. Okay. Agree the Fae. Sure. All right. Mm-hmm. Come the Birbs. So if they have Spell Pierce or the 1 mana deal, whatchamacallit, we're kind of dead here. But we're out of time. We kind of gotta go for it here. So. Spell Pierce. Alright. So we definitely want the 3rd cavern. And kind of the same logic as last game. Guess we could actually try. Yeah, Sunfall's not quite as good, so. Question becomes, what would I shave over that? Opponent could bring in, Spell Pierces. They could bring in Mystical Disputes. They could bring in Disdainful Stroke. But being on the draw certainly hurt, and I don't know that we can risk the hand of 3 mana sources for 6 drops. This hand is not the best, but at least allows us to put the Spark Double back. I think we got a bottom Dramoka. We're looking for more mana, and we still need to find. We would need to find one of the treasure effects to do anything with it. So, well, it might be a perfectly reasonable card. It's just a little too risky here. Nothing. Mm-hmm. turn. Picklock Prankster. Sure. So okay, so that's gone. That's gone. It's gone. Mm-hmm. See if our opponent understands the timing. Problem for our opponent here, yes, they get to do this, but we still get Spark Double, copy that. Into another Quintorious. Just trying to think. Do we want to try to play a more interactive game? Like it feels like if both people are trying to play a more interactive game, especially when it's a combo deck versus a mid-range deck, that one of the sides is doing it wrong. We just have these gluts of 6-drops that are just so... We'll just go ahead and bring in the land. Run with 61. So this is much better than our 7-card hand, but we'll roll with it. Construct. I say Ether Gust would be the most annoying here. Okay, they got an opt. Alright, well, that one. Final match with Quintorius Combo on the play, which is nice. Have the combo rolled up, which is nice. Turn 1 Thoughtseize. Goodbye, Quintorious. That's good. About the worst card to draw on our deck is one of our this is our ability to combo. Here comes Sorin. Nope, Fable. Okay. Okay, so we're probably, well, kind of hard to say if we're up against Vamps or whatever yet, because Arcfiend's kind of in both decks. Okay, so we are up against Vamps. Alright, we probably lose this game since we don't find one of our payoffs in the top 20 or so cards in our deck besides the one we had in our opening hand. Mm-hmm. We ain't got nothing, trust me. Okay, decks most decks we have the most life, have the most life. So basically, if the life totals are tied, they're getting both, which is kind of just stupid. I don't even know if we're dead here. 2, 4, 6, and 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Draws a card, draws a card, draws a card. They have Soar in here, we're just dead. So they get to ping, throw something at us. Alright, bring that in. Bring Sunfall in. Tramilka doesn't make much sense. Distortion does nothing. Elishnorn, I mean, kind of hurts their ETB stuff, but most of the vampires don't have ETBs. They have triggered abilities, so I think it's just like bring in 4 pieces of interaction, go down 4 cantrips. I'll try it. I mean, any hand you keep against them is subject to Thoughtseize Duress, so it's kind of one of those whatever things. Not saying keep a hand that does nothing, but this hand at least, you know, turn 2 Virtue of, well, turn 3 Virtue of Persistence, because there's really no 1-drops in the deck. And the one problem with this is, like, you can't, like, board something like Leyline of Sanctity simply because, well, you can't afford to cascade into it, so. Alright, Dusk Zealot, sure. Locked Away and Scorn. Mm-hmm. Thoughtseize. Yep. Torrential Geralk. Does let our opponent know exactly what we've drawn, but Sunfall might be our best singular draw here, if we don't get the combo, obviously. Sure. Hits us for 6. Black, black. Mm-hmm. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're not currently dead this turn. Don't think really Dromoka helps the party much in that regard, because they obviously have, at least we saw multiple bitter triumphs in. They could have Shouldered's Edicts, so relying on like tapping out on like a turn 4, turn 5 Dromoka just seems. Plus, you know, sometimes they'll get enough Blood Tithe Harvesters to kill it. So I think it's just best to kind of roll with this game plan. Well, if we were playing Hearthstone, this would be a good hand. Turn 1 Thoughtseize. Yep, turn 1 nothing. biased here. Blood Tithe Harvester incoming, or do they have, no, Blood Tither? Okay. Okay, I presume they're saving a Thoughtseize for next turn, so... Getting Sorin plus Vein Ripper here. Nope, Fable. Okay. Clearly they have something to do with their mana post-combat. Interesting choice. Which is a Vein Ripper. Mm-hmm. Presume there goes Trumpeting Carnosaur. Take a hit for 2. Blood Tithe, sure. Mm-hmm. Are we dead here? I think we might be dead here. Should have just killed the reflection main phase instead of screwing around. Mm-hmm. Oh. I mean, kind of a weird league, but in some regards, I feel like it's a fairly accurate representation of how this deck does. Like, Rakdos, no matter what the variant, is just tricky and seems to be at least slightly in their favor. Phoenix is almost like the matchup that I want to face, although they certainly have their draws that can beat us, especially the more skilled Phoenix players. And Mono Green is just a matchup. They're a turn 4 deck. We're a turn 4 deck, except their turn 4 is no longer lock piece combo deterministic. Instead, it's just put a really big presence on the battlefield and hope that wins the game. So, is this deck well positioned in the format right now? I mean, win percentage wise, I would say not. And from a statistical standpoint, there's a gentleman on Twitter besides Frank Karsten that does deck tracking. And I think the current win percentage for this deck is like 46-47%. But it still feels reasonably competitive. Still trying to figure out the Rakdos matchup. I don't know if there's really much you can do because Leyline of Sanctity just kind of, is what it is. Rest of the deck, I mean, I still like this setup with the Discovery Dispersals in the main. Gives you a little bit more flexibility in what you're boarding out. The sideboard tech, I really like the Elish and Orns in place of something like what was previously in the slot, Quakebringer. It still shuts down the triggers for things like Amalia combo, while also having some additional value against things like Niv to Light. Sunfall, perfectly reasonable sweeper. Another card you might want to consider, well, I guess Sunfall just makes the most sense in the face of dealing with Vein Ripper, XLing or things. Virtue of Persistence is a card that I've always been fairly reasonable on. It kind of single-handedly won us a game there against Vampires. Thought Distortion, I mean, Lotus Field combo, Phoenix, Control seems to earn its keep. Dragon Lord Jamoka, I mean, time and time again, we've had it against you know, Spirits and Phoenix, and helps against blue-white to a certain degree. So here goes Buzz Crusher. Really only comes in relevantly against Lotus Field, which can be a tricky matchup. So yeah, kind of liking this list so far. 3-2 again, so I mean, reasonable results. But yeah, if you like finding your content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you for our next video.